Feel like a little bit of chaos. We got a little bit of that in the second half of this one. Browns, Eagles, DTR. Oh boy, against his former squad. Not exactly the moments that he was hoping for. Cleveland victorious. Really the big story, though, obviously, what happened with Dillon Gabriel, which we will discuss momentarily. Let's not forget, we got some more preseason action. 4 total games on NFL Network. 1 down, 3 to go. The next one is Niners and Raiders. See Brock Purdy and company out there. Ricky Pearsall, remember, sort of an interesting comeback story for him in the offseason last year. Getting actually shot in downtown San Francisco. Got healthy enough to return to game action. We'll sort of see him out there front and center, ready to rock and roll. Game day kickoff presented by Satfa, along with David Carr and Steve White. Mike Am with you. All right, a lot to unpack because we were on the set at halftime. There's a lot of positives that we saw offensively, really from a Dillon Gabriel perspective. Second half rolled around, and it felt like things got a little dirty.
You're being quite kind right
Yes,
now.
I'm trying.
You know, we had some quarterback changes, we had some personnel changes, and the second half just wasn't very good. It was not fun to watch. What about the Philadelphia Eagles overall? 88 total yards of offense. It's not something, you know, they're going to be too excited about. Yeah. You know, again, they didn't play a lot of their starters or anything like that, but still, not to generate that type of offense. Dorian Thompson-Robinson struggled at quarterback when he was in there. They just really didn't get, you know, Kyle McCord was not very good when he got in there offensively. So that was tough. But Dillon Gabriel, I thought overall, David, for the Cleveland Browns, starting the game really was clean.
I thought he looked great. I mean, especially after we watched that second half and we saw the contrast to what it could look like. Dillon played fantastic. Hand on the left guard's back, finding a third down to his tight end. Great throw right here on 3rd and 5. The sideline, tight man coverage. I thought overall he had poise. I thought he moved the offense up and down the field. There were only a couple plays where those are the only ones he's going to think about. Obviously, the interception, what could have happened, the fumble on the handoff. But I think overall, he looked fantastic. He looked like a veteran leading the group out there. So obviously, the Philly side with the offense, like that's what we were kind of worried about before. Now, no starters played. Jalen wasn't out there. Saquon, obviously, these guys weren't out there. But I think overall, they still got some things to work on.
We will continue to discuss Dillon Gabriel, where he stacks up now on the depth chart in that quarterback room, coming off Shedeur Sanders from a week ago in preseason, week number 1. Now, week 2, we have some sample size to evaluate some of these players. Meanwhile, keep in mind, Niners and Raiders, we got that matchup coming up in just a couple minutes, but there's some other games going on right now across the NFL.
Injury, we'll get more information on that. You know, a lot of lessons to learn in that football game. 2 giveaways really were the difference there in that first half because I thought we were doing some really good things. But then we got that takeaway, had a takeaway negated by an offside. So we're just trying to hammer home how important it is to win that turnover margin in these football games. But I thought by and large you guys competed like crazy, which they did this week as well. So I was pleased with the effort. And then we got to still have that mentality that we got to get better every single day. And that's what the guys are going to do. With that, I'll take any questions. There shouldn't be. They're out of their sandbox. They were in the wrong area of their sandbox. We'll get that cleaned up. That's something that's kind of what I'm talking about, Tony, where things like that happen in these games. We have to clean that up. And even if you weren't on that rep, you know, you're a tight end or a wide receiver, you can learn from that rep. So that should never happen on that play. Yeah, obviously that can never happen on that play. There's things, not all interceptions are created equal, but we can't do that as a football team.
What do you think of Dillon overall?
Yeah, plenty to clean up. There's some things that I thought he did well. I thought our offense as a whole on 3rd down was very good early, which allowed us to stay on the field because I don't think we were great on 1st and 2nd down, but plenty to clean up.
Does the fumble exchange, what happened?
Yeah, those 2, us as coaches, we got to get them on the same page. That's we can never do that, ever.
When you caught timeout on that first series, what was the problem there when you got deep into that?
Yeah, didn't like the defensive look.
Wasn't an operation problem?
No.
How close did Dillon come to maybe not playing in this game?
Well, I think you have to be so careful, Mary Kay, with these type of injuries, and we have to protect players from themselves. And sometimes guys want to play so bad, and you just have to make sure that they can protect themselves, make sure that they can go perform. So that's all it was, just getting as close to kickoff as we can and make a prudent decision for the young man.
Kevin, as you head into final week of preseason, what is the timeline on naming a certain quarterback and plan on handling the final preseason game as a professional?
So we will treat the final preseason game, in a dress rehearsal type way, in the sense that we're going to do a regular season schedule this week, Daniel. So we will game plan. Now, we won't run every play that we put in this week, but I want the guys to get used to getting a game plan, new plays, kind of evolving the offense, the defense, the special teams, so to speak. And then in terms of who plays and that type of thing, we'll talk about that later.
So you don't anticipate naming the starter ahead of the starting quarterback for the season, but week one ahead of
Let's get through today, and then you and I will chat.
Well, I was going to change. So you got a
Well,
quarterback.
both of the rookies got a start in the preseason, so how do you think they comported themselves, both of them? And can you say, I know it's not apples to apples, but how do they compare to each other?
Yeah, I'm not going to compare our players, Mary Kay, other than to say I'm pleased with both those guys, where they are in their progression. They have the mentality that they're going to get better every single day, which I appreciate. That's really where our focus is.
What about the defense? It seemed like the whole week defense dominated here. Is that accurate?
Yeah, again, I'm not going to characterize it. I'll tell you, I was really pleased with Wednesday and Thursday, really pleased with the guys today, obviously. Our brand of defense, Tony, as you know, you have to play really, really hard, and you got to compete like crazy, and I think that's what you see from our guys.
Do you think that all four quarterbacks might be available for the dress rehearsal game?
From a health standpoint, I hope so, but I'm not sure yet.
And we saw Shador throwing a little bit out there. Is this a little bit more optimistic, or the outlook is a little better than maybe you thought at first?
No, I'd say it's all rehab. We're being very smart there, but hopeful that he's going to get better quickly.
We had Larry return punts the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of an audition for
Yeah,
bigger and better things?
I think just all these guys were trying to get the proper amount of work for them, Tony, so that we can make our evaluations. That's all it is.
Can you talk about, aside from his turnovers, how do you feel like Dillon handled himself, just in terms of poise, overcoming adversity, being accurate, mobility?
Yeah, I thought operation was good. That's when you go into these games. I know it's kind of boring, but that's what you're looking for from the quarterbacks, to orchestrate, get guys in and out of the huddle, make the right calls, send the motions, all those type of things. So I thought he did a good job with that. He's got plenty that he's going to clean up.
In terms of, I don't know if you can answer this or not, but Isaiah Bond is on his way to your football team. I think probably could be even signed by tomorrow. So how do you feel about adding Isaiah to your team?
Yeah, I really don't have any update there, Mary Kay.
Do you expect Winshaw to be with the team this week?
Also don't have an update there.
Good. One last thing. Why did you play DeJuan Jones?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to every single player, Tony. You're making a decision on what we think they need to get ready.
Same thing was said. Well,
Correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Bill will be in short.
Yeah, no adrenaline. I think just more excitement. Get to wake up and go to game day. So that was a lot of fun, and I think that process, getting back into it, was good. But it was a lot of fun.
What's your overall evaluation of how you did?
Yeah, I think we'll still have to go back to the film and see how it is. But for me, I think just continue to learn from maybe some things that can't happen, like turnovers. But I think other than that, there was flashes of being very consistent and clean as an offense, and I think as long as we consistently work at that and try to put more of those kind of drives together, you see our defense playing really well, and just putting our each other in better positions.
Can you talk about what happened on the pick six, and was it too late for you not to throw it, or what did you see?
Yeah, I think for me, I look back and definitely want to just throw it away. Don't force anything, on a keeper, and felt like there's just miscommunication on my part and something that we got to clean up. But I will, and we'll make sure of that.
There's still a week left here in this quarterback competition. Where do you think your play name puts you in line for that?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. Just focus on a day at a time. At the end of the day, some decision will be made that's best for the team, and that'll be it. So, I'm just focused on being my best version of myself, and contributing to our team and our QB room to be the best. And that takes every single day and one day at a time. So way down the road.
How about the handoff exchange? What happened
Yeah, just miscommunication as well. I got to be better there to help each other out on one that, knowing exactly where the launch point is. And that's something that'll be corrected and fixed as soon as possible.
Dillon, you got an opportunity to run a 2-minute drill, get down, get the field goal. How valuable was that to do that in a game setting, this early?
Yeah, I think there's 86% of NFL games that have a 2-minute end of game or end of half, depending. But for us, that's huge. We definitely want to continue to get those reps. You try to emulate it, but I think when you're in it, it's definitely the best. And just trying to get points, whether it's 7 or 3, just trying to consistently move the ball and then think through how we're going to operate through that.
Is there any point you pinched yourself thinking, I'm out here in NFL Stadium and playing quarterback for a moment there?
Yeah, I think it's helped having OTAs and even into training camp where we are now. But I think there's still that focus within the moment and serving the moment, so not making it too big or too small, and that allows you to just be your best within that. But definitely want to continue to stack those moments, and definitely always grateful and blessed to go out there. It's a blessing to do what we do, so never want to disregard that.
There was a comment you made on the telecast, entertainers and competitors.
Yeah.
Can you explain what you meant by that?
What do you mean?
There's a quote that you said, there's entertainers and competitors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a competitor, and I understand there's entertainers. What context is that quote given?
All you in this room are entertainers, and you have a job to do, and I respect it, right? And I'm a competitor, so I have a job to do as well. And I think, just understanding that, that's how I've lived by, and I've said that multiple times. So definitely not a new quote, but something that I've definitely said before.
So you were referring to media as the entertainers?
Yeah, I just said that, yeah.
Yeah, and just to clarify, I think, how social media is, I think some people are trying to take that as something that you probably did not mean it as. Some people are trying to make it out to be sort of a shot that you put.
Yeah, first off, I'm all about our team, you know what I mean, and each other. I would never make that, and I've said it before, that's why it's interesting. But for me, I've explained it. Entertainers are you all, competitor. That's what I am, and all my teammates, and we both have jobs to do. So that's it.
Bill, when you were asked Wednesday about the hamstring, you said we'll find out here soon. Did you just mean to see how it got through practice?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. You're working through it, and it's unique. I will say that, and one of my first, so just working through that. Some days it feels good, some days are not as good as others, but I think we see a progression as linear, but with a hammy, as I'm realizing, there's your days, and you got to continue to strengthen it and work through it, but just trying to get better and feel better there.
Take the team down the field your first possession. That feeling like they're taking away the deal.
Say that one more time, sorry.
Took the kickoff and drove 7 to 8 minutes down the field.
Yep.
Good scores. What's that feeling like? When you start?
Yeah, it feels good. You definitely want to set the tone early, and I think we had great openers, and being able to think through that, feel really confident about it, but then everyone executed at a high level. The run game, I think the O-line played really great. Just getting vertical in their double teams, and I think running backs seeing that as well. But it is a full team effort, and you see the receivers getting on the second level and blocking well as well, and then trying to make plays in the pass game. So I think when you see consistency like that, that's at its best. You want to continue to replicate that, but within a drive, it's answering too. We take a sack early, but we get a third down. We're in another third and long, but we get ahead of it and try to work our way back. But I think you just see guys competing through that. So proud of the guys for sure.
Say a couple more.
You converted the first 6 third down situations. What did you just see in those moments and how you were able to manage those situations to continue to drive?
Yeah, I think we always talk about it, right? It's red area, it's third downs. I think it's the turnover margin, obviously, where we got to be better. And I think those are key points. Even negative plays, you want to eliminate those and be as best as you can.
Unlimited 1.5% cash back is just the beginning. With no annual fee. Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back?
and then execute at a high level when you get in those moments. That's why we got there.
Dillon, a lot has been put on your plate this one year camp, in addition to all of the installation, all that kind of stuff, and dealing with the hamstring that you have to deal with. You necessarily haven't had the chance to just move in and deliver it. Did you feel like tonight you were able to show flashes of what you're all about with some of those really good plays that you made?
I think it's interesting because there's always overreactions with preseasons, and naturally because it's the first time you're seeing a lot of players. But for many, I think we're just trying to build continuity and build consistency. So for me, it's all growing moments in the grand scheme of things. And I'm a guy that sees it long term. I think you see a day or 2 weeks, but I think the true growth within months or years, and you see a player grow within that. I think that's where you see guys definitely flourish, and you see that from our vets. And they're great case studies for that as well. And I think we just got to continue to chip away, and that starts with a lot of the young guys, but us all contributing to what we want to do, which is win games.
I think we responded from both turnovers with field goal drives. Immediately.
Yep.
So we weren't around.
Yep.
Is that kind of your game?
I think the response is everything. I think in many cases there's, maybe mistakes on display, or maybe plays that you want back. But for the most part, there's got to be that continuous response, and competitive nature to continue to go out there and compete. And I'm a gunslinger. I'm going to continue to sling it, and be aggressive that way. Like I said, that can't happen, right? And we got to throw it away in that situation. But I think as a unit and us coming together, I want to help my teammates out by